Stay home, man. Stay home and do your thing. Good luck to you. I wish you all the luck in the world. There's going to be a small group of hungry savages out there that are going to run every one of you over. And you can sit home and you can cry and complain about how you didn't get yours and it's because this person had this opportunity that you didn't have. It's all bullshit, crybaby stuff.
This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks. And it's going to continue to suck.
Life continue. Past is past, it never come again. The present, it's the best gift that we have in our life. The present.
If you live in the future, you're anxious. If you live in the past, you're depressed. If you live in the now, you're happy.
You just gotta grind.
Yeah.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, and I don't mean to smash all of them, but they seem like a bunch of pussies to me, you know? So because of that, there's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a fucking savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way.
You want to reach your goal? How to reach the goal the quickest? Be focused with your energy. Meaning, be focused with the mind. Don't lose the goal from the mind. Whatever you do from the moment of waking up until the evening, whatever you do, keep the goal in the mind. This is the quickest way of making this goal become real.
If you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're going to continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, motherfucker. This is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're going to do this today. No, this really sucks.
When you're in the game, great things happen and really bad things happen. And you got to take it all in stride. And you got to pick yourself up the next day, strap your shoes back on and get out there and go to war again.
The average real man does not need to go get therapy for the battles and the burdens he's carried inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there and to respect it and to be grateful for it. They don't need to talk it out to get rid of it. They need the one that they're going through this hell for to recognize it's there and to be grateful that the man is carrying this for them. They don't need therapy, they need gratitude.
This is a pretty important one. Everything changed for me when I realized that we're not meant to feel excited and perfect all the time. I started accepting that where I am right now is where I'm genuinely meant to be. Tough days are all a part of the process. Lean into them. Bad days are also part of a very good and meaningful life. So on my toughest days, I think about getting through one more day, one more workout, one more rep.
Discipline is great. Motivation is great. But if you can't fit shit in your brain because it's all fucking cluttered with shit, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have with that discipline. And every day, I'm set back. So this is what I would tell your boy. This is exactly what I tell him. Every day you wake up, you're gonna probably be set back for the first 4 weeks before you lose to significant weight because of the mind's gonna be with you the whole time. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. And that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that just to get to work on yourself. A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if?
And if you really want to avoid all the critics in your life, then do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing, and you'll never get their attention. But if you are something and you're doing something and you become something, guess what? You get their attention. And that pisses them off because they can never be what you are now. So the only thing they can do to make them feel good is try to bring you the down. I say thank you for that. Thank you for acknowledging the fact that I'm doing something, because I don't know who the you are, but you seem to know who I am.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
No. Well, no. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I say I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. Confront the work. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition.
If you give it all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what can come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you're putting yourself in a situation to create those opportunities. And when you show up, how hard do you go? That's the faster that opportunity will come to life for you. It's up to you guys. But I applaud you for being here. I applaud you for watching this, encouraging you to incorporate this in your workout. You'll see the gains like I did, and you'll fall in love with it. Even though it's tiring and exhausting, and you're sweating your ass off, and you're tired as can be, small down payment that you're willing to pay every day for the large investment of a greater life. You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, you only need one.
People who don't have a sense of purpose, a mission, and don't have a consistent routine end up digging holes in their life. And it's not always Vicodin or some drug addiction. It could come as something benign as porn, gambling, over-drinking, too much television, things that slowly chip away at humanity, things that people use to escape, vaping, binge-watching television. All of these things are digging holes in your life that ultimately you look back and you realize there's such a chasm between you and your spouse, that you and your kids barely know each other, even though you live under the same roof, that you've got this dad bod with a pot belly and pointy titties and pear-shaped. And you're like, whoa, where'd this come from? It was the absence of purpose and it was absence of routine. We need it. Otherwise, humans dig the holes in their lives too, no different than a German Shepherd would.
The emotionally immature man seeks out motivation to do something hard one time. The emotionally mature man uses discipline to do something hard 1,000 times.
When you have emotional maturity, you realize that some days you're not going to sleep well. Some days you're going to wake up and you've got your schedule and everything's planned out and the poop hits the fan. You got to eat those shit sandwiches, right? And whether things go well or not that day, the emotionally mature man will still do what he has to do to stack his wins, to focus on his purpose. Whereas the emotionally immature man will say, well, I didn't sleep well, I had nightmares, so I'll stay in bed. I didn't sleep well, or it's raining outside, it's cold outside, I don't feel good. I just woke up and the airplanes hit the World Trade Center, so I guess I have to change my pattern of life. You have to stay the course no matter what. And it takes a high level of emotional maturity because your emotions dictate your motion, like what you're going to do. And so if you have emotional maturity, you're more likely to lean into discipline when things are suboptimal. If you lack emotional maturity, then how you feel determines what you do next.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never f***ing quit, in the end you will succeed.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Bro, you gotta f***ing stop. You gotta stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your together, reading a book, meditating, something. That's how you do it. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want.
There are no failures. There's only quitting. Every single hardship, every single obstacle is going to serve you if you allow yourself to let it serve you.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
Set up a schedule and just do the work. Free from how you feel. Because also feeling, sometimes you wake up one day, you feel this way, you wake up the next day, you feel another way. And it's just not helpful to base your structure or your goal on how you feel.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control.
Saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue.
You stick to what you put there on paper. You take your time, you make the plan, and unless you really are sick or have some type of higher excuse, you just do what you have committed to.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Life is gonna throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it, and you gotta fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball, you can't run away from it, you can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on.
Through repetition of things you don't want to do, start to armor your mind. Because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it.
That when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
The story continues. The story continues. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm gonna learn something from that failure and I'm gonna try again on Tuesday.
Those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. That's a way better way of thinking about it. You have to be powerful and formidable and then peaceful, in that order, right? And that's not the same as being naive and weak and harmless, which is what young men are being encouraged to be. It's like, that's a very bad idea. It's a very bad idea. Because naive, weak, and harmless means that you can't withstand the tragedies of life. You can't bear any responsibility. You'll end up bitter. And when you get bitter, then you get dangerous.
Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done, and if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is. You can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. That's a great feeling. So don't let idiots talk you out of something that you think is good.
How fast can you turn your day around, basically? That's unbelievable. Some people can sit around and wait for the opportunity to change like this, and then they get the fuck up. Some people strike when that iron's hot. Other people just keep on striking until the fucking blade's so hot it slices through anything. Some people get up in the middle of a snowstorm or a rainstorm, pushes through, listen to their pride, not their ego. And what happens? The sun comes out, birth of a new day, new opportunities. We're living. We're not waiting for it to pass by. I've said it 1,000 times in this workout, guys. Your greatest moment, your greatest hour will be right after your worst hour is spare. Because in that worst hour to spare, who are you? Who are you? You're no one. The foundations that you build yourself on, your looks or your money or your family or your friends, have all left you at that point, haven't they? What's left? Just you. Mano to mano. Who's talking inside? Is there anything left? You're at the bottom of the barrel. No place to go but up. That's the voice that carries your weak ass, pathetic that everyone said goodbye to and left. To get the f*** up on the intestinal fortitude, stand back up in a cloudy day until the sun comes out. That is your finest hour. That's the positive confidence of pride, not the negative confidence of ego. We're worried about other people. What we do every day, every single day, what we do becomes habitual and routine. Through practice, every single day we do the same thing, regardless of egocentrical ideas and ideologies, of weather, surroundings, elements, people, regardless. We're on our mission because this universe, we are the center of our own universe. We continue to do the path that we believe in. It doesn't change in a biased nature of someone else's opinion or the fucking sun or the... No. Headstrong, confident, pushing through it. And in the end state, you're sitting in the sun after a good fucking workout. You've paid your fucking dues today. Maybe pay them again later because it felt so good. What is that feeling, guys? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the pride. That was a chest workout. Building the pectoral pride, guys. It's when you go that far in the gym and you leave it all there in despair and you're so weak and you're on your ass that your greatest hour of growth comes right now. It's rest and nutrition. The demand has been created. Let's go get supply now. Very quick. Help me stay fit. Thanks for watching that one.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory. Wow. That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never fell.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. It's this and it's heaven. While you're on earth, you got to take advantage of this.
You never really feel bad about how you're living your life until you become aware that you're not living up to your own true potential and you're not actually trying to achieve it. And then when you keep doing the old habits, then your self-esteem and your confidence and everything is driven into the dirt because you're aware that you're doing the things that are wrong. Everything that we have in our life starts from our mind. It starts from where we are with our mind and then goes into our physical, and then our mind and our physical lead to creating reality outside of that.
Almost all of the people around you who have parts of their life that they're not happy about are kind of making a choice for it to be that way. That means that all of the things I don't like about me and I don't like about my life are my responsibility, because I can change it.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person.
I tell young men, it's like, find something difficult to do. You need that. You're not built for comfort or pleasure. Like if that comes along, good. You know, if you have a day where you're comfortable and there's some things around you that give pleasure, have some sense and enjoy it.
But don't be thinking that's what your life is aimed at.
Taking full accountability for your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first 2 steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because nothing changes if nothing changes, man.
The world has a strange way of stepping aside when somebody says, I'll do it or die. The man says, I will climb the mountain. They've told me it's too high, it's too far, it's too rocky, it's too difficult, it's never been done before, but it's my mountain, I will climb it. Pretty soon you'll see me waving from the top. Or dead on the side, because I ain't coming back.
The point is that there's some games you don't get to play unless you're all in. And the other thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting.
Most people don't have a plan. Or without a plan of your own life, you become the plan of someone else's life. You're not running the day's running you.
Balance between thinking and doing. I mean, one of the things in semiconductors was you had risk takers. I think Bob Noyce, learns to hang glide at age 40. These people like laying their butts in the line. How important was that in the early days? I mean, we're going back to 75.
Well, again, after seeing, my entire life's been spent only in one industry, which is this one. And but I've been in it now for about 15 years, and I've seen a lot of people make a lot of things. I've seen a lot of people fail a lot of things. And my point of view on this, or my observation, is that the doers are the major thinkers. The people that really create the things that change this industry are both the thinker-doer in one person. And if we really go back and we examine, did Leonardo have a guy off to the side that was thinking 5 years out in the future what he would paint or the technology he would use to paint it? Of course not. Leonardo was the artist, but he also mixed all his own paints. He also was a fairly good chemist, knew about pigments, knew about human anatomy, and combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result. And there is no difference in our industry. The people that have really made the contributions have been the thinkers and the doers. And when you a lot of people, of course, it's very easy to take credit for the thinking. The doing is more concrete, but it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I thought of this 3 years ago. But usually when you dig a little deeper, you find that the people that really did it were also the people that really worked through the hard intellectual problems as well.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move.
Just doing it makes you do more. Like, do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understand that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have the confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get done.
You can make a million excuses why you didn't get that raise, why you didn't take that leap of faith. You can make a million excuses, but you know deep down inside, and consciousness is eating away at you, that it's an excuse. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. Stop making excuses. And when you stop making excuses, the only alternative is then results.
Everything worthwhile is uphill. You see, every dream that you've ever had, it's all uphill. If you have a great relationship with somebody, you had to work on it. It's uphill. If you build a wonderful business, guess what? It was uphill. If you've made the right decisions, they're not easy, are they? It's uphill. And the only way that you can go uphill is to be intentional. Nobody ever accidentally went uphill. You've never talked to a successful person and said, how did you get to the top of the mountain? And then look at you and say, I have no idea. If they're at the top of the mountain, they know how they got there. Because they had to have effort. It took energy. It took time.
In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the fucking test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
If you want to be really great at something, you kind of have to be out of your fucking mind, but you also have to have an iron will.
Right? You can't have happiness without sorrow. You can't have pleasure without pain. And to neglect one thing is to neglect life. So why would you neglect these things? And in order for you to achieve freedom, you need to be able to understand that you need to be unwaveringly decided to enjoy every aspect of the experience of life. And the problem is, most of the aspects of experiencing life fully are haltered or deterred or slowed down by the busyness of life.
The winners that I know always feel they're behind, that they should have done more than they did that day, that they could have achieved more, they could have made more, they could have added more value. That is a mindset that you can develop. That is not some kind of innate trait that I have or other people have that you don't have.
A lot of times we have this desire to point the blame finger externally, but wherever you point the finger of blame, power follows. And so whoever I blame for the life I have is the person who I give all the power over my existence, over my circumstances. And so it hurts, but if you turn the finger inwards and you start saying, I don't like my life. The person that I need to punish or get back at is the real person who got me here, which is me. And so you may be right that other people did certain things or you got dealt a bad hand. It also doesn't matter, because the only thing that you can control is obviously the actions that you take. And the only person who's in control of that is you.
If you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us, because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself.
The greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broke on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained.
How do I finish where I start? I get 2 weeks into it, and then I stop. Well, this is the thing about it. People forget one thing about me. I used to be you. I used to be a fat guy, a guy that didn't care much, a guy that got D's and F's in school, a guy that blamed other people, a guy that was under mediocre. I wasn't even average. So this is the thing about it. I want to tell you what people don't want to tell you. Why you stop is because you're lazy. It's because you don't mind getting bad grades in school. It doesn't bother you enough to be mediocre, to be average, to sit around and watch people do great things. You don't mind it. So there's your answer. Your answer is you don't care enough about yourself, so you don't stay in the fight.
You got to do it when you don't want to do it. You got to do it when you're hurt. You got to do it when you're tired. You got to do it when you're sick. You got to do it when you don't want to do anything else. And you got to do it for years.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
oh, you got to set realistic goals and take small little actions. And you know, they don't understand it because they've never built anything of any sizable nature. If you want to be excellent and you want to build something huge and you want to have a big life and you want to make a lot of money, you better set some big goals and follow it up with some big actions.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is a part of the process. People who never fail, never try. It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan took 949 game-winning shots. He only made 123. He's the greatest basketball player to ever live. He only made 123 game-winning shots. He took 949 of them. All you gotta do is win some of the time.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you could control, which is your food, what you put in your mind, how you move your body, how much water you drink, who you associate with, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those in a positive manner, and that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs.
Tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors.
A moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. People that have no problem showing up to the gym are the people that want to be there.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you'll never stand for anything.
But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment.
Athletes who turn up to compete, they put a bit more effort in. They try to be the best amongst their group. Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable on race night.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different. Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right. No one thought in my family that, or even through my friends or through my mum and dad's friends, whoever was around us, no one thought that we'd ever be anything. No one thought that like our art could sell and we could make money that way and we could build careers that way.
What is the starting point?
One step at a time, whether it's 10,000 steps or doing even a 20-minute workout. That's all people need to do to change. Because you'll start seeing results regardless of what position you're in right now. If you can just keep increasing incrementally what you're doing in terms of fitness or your business or however you like your sleep, whatever it is that you feel is not right, you'll see the change over time. It comes, and it takes a long time. It takes a really long time, but it happens.
Everyone does a few reps where the burn starts and they stop. No one goes the extra mile and keeps going. Like no one's in here right now. Why? Because it's Saturday evening, everyone's going to party, no one's in here, just me. You know, no one goes the extra mile. The thing about traffic jams, guys, there are no traffic jams in the last mile of the race. It's just you and your shadow. In the beginning, everybody's there. All the pretenders and the contenders, they're all there. But the last yard of life, the last mile of the journey, ain't nobody but you and your shadow. Traffic jams don't exist that far.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
Do something that sucks every day.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
You know, manifestation is basically setting goals and desires, knowing what you want, finding images of them to put on a board that you can see at least twice a day, because your brain doesn't actually know the difference between something happening in real life and a strong visualization.
Wow, so you could create enough of a visualization for yourself if you really were to powerfully start to focus on it and do that, to visualize something that your brain at one point would have to think it's so true that the world would meet you and put it into your life.
I love the way you put that.
Wow.
Don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
The more you do, right, the more you can do. So if you're working hard at something and you're starting to feel like it's getting a bit too much, the pressure's a bit too much, you carry on doing it, you're going to come out of it. It's not like you're just going to end. Nothing ends. You just figure out different ways to actually make it successful, or something will work and you'll be like, oh, then your energy goes back up.
Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command, do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move.
The feeling I feel right now, as bad as it feels, is a fucking hell of a lot better feeling than a life where you throw the towel in. That's something you never recover from. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up stronger. I'll feel alive, and I'll have the belief and confidence backing me up after a good night's rest. I can only get better. When the towel's down in life, there's no more rounds, man. You threw it in. I feel like shit right now, but I can pick the towel back up. I'm gonna be stronger tomorrow, the next round. Life, guys, it's a plan of action. If you don't have the plan, I guarantee you someone's gonna use you as part of their fucking plan. Stop going about the day as a servant. Become the master. Run your day and stop having it run you. Believe in yourself. Be that one of 100 that has a belief instead of just jaw-jab talk of intent. Huge differential there. Differential is somebody just breathing life, and the other one taking the most of the opportunity of time of life. Remembrance, otherwise forgotten.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win.
Take the biggest risks of your entire life right now.
The more risk you take, the luckier you get.
You can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done, and if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is. If you can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. That's a great feeling. So don't let idiots talk you out of something that you think is good.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Do so much work, it would be unreasonable for you not to be successful. You can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out. Like if you do 1,000 podcasts, you'll be pretty fucking good at podcasts, right? But if you try to say, okay, you're brand new, and all you have to do is make one perfect podcast. The problem is that you don't have the perspective from which to make a judgment to say what is good, because you have zero data to base anything off of. And so you're basing your idea of a perfect podcast on something that you've literally never done before. And so doing the volume gives you the perspective to then have the best podcast at number 1,000 or 1,001.
And I was like, time to become a man. Walk forward, peripheral vision, get it. Own yourself, walk forward with more courage, and start becoming the man you want to be instead of acting like it and putting it off.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational.
You want to reach your goal? How to reach the goal the quickest? Be focused with your energy. Meaning, be focused with the mind. Don't lose the goal from the mind. Whatever you do, from the moment of waking up until the evening, whatever you do, keep the goal in the mind. This is the quickest way of making this goal become real.
You have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do, and just go and get it.
The point being, if your 20s, do all of that. Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible.
What about work-life balance in your 20s?
Fuck it. Because that's the time to put in the hard work. Your work-life balance actually comes out later.
I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
It's grind season, homie. It's not about today, it's about the future. You do the work now. Do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere. It's time to stay focused, man.
Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem.
I think if you know what you're supposed to do, deep down inside, I think everybody does. And a lot of people just don't go after it. You know, like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. Yeah. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it, man.
Whenever you feel negative or unhappy about anything, you say, wait a minute, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for what happens. I can't change the past, so I'm not going to spend a second worrying about the past. I'm going to become so busy working on my future and my goals that I don't have time to think about the past.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life, especially from a financial aspect, is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin.
If you want to do something and you want it that bad, you'll make sacrifices.
You need to take action, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those, and that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs.
Because this world we live in is tough. It will beat you down.
You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around.
If an athlete says, I want to be the best, Bill, fine. How badly do you want it? You've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. And if we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer?
You have to discipline yourself. That's why I often tell my clients, especially young people, they say, well, I don't know what to do. It's like, that's okay. Nobody does. Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
You're going to go through this pain. You're going to go through the suffering. How are you going to choose to show up?
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Without the bad days, there would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
Pinpoint what I want to do with my life. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're f***ed up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna f***ing make it and still be able to f***ing make it. Because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here.
There's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
Everybody has dreams. And as much as you want to be able to listen a little bit, because somebody's going to give you a gem, but nobody knows but you. You can't get advice on what you should do with your life. Nobody knows what you are. Like even sometimes you don't really even know what you are. You got to take your shot. And it's like, as much as you want people to agree and you want the people around you to be supporting your dreams and all, it's not going to be like that all the time. You got to do it alone.
I come to understand, if I could work that hard every day with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day, so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful.
Loneliness is a kind of tax we have to pay to atone for a certain complexity of mind.
All of man's problems arise because he cannot sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes alone. And it's very true. I always needed to be stimulated. You actually want to, again, rest your mind.
The superpower of learning to be alone and enjoying it.
There is a period in everybody's journey where they are so different because they've started to do new things that they no longer fit in with their old set of friends. but they're not sufficiently developed that they've gained their new set of friends, and they're unsure. Should I go back? Should I lean back into getting a bag in with the boys on a weekend? Is that the highest, way that I can live my life passion forward? Because that's what everybody else does. And all of my friends are taking the piss. Oh, not drinking again. Too good for us, are we? Not going out again this week. Oh, okay. Well, enjoy staying in home and reading. Nerd. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have. But you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
As soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come sa. Anyway, the views are better above ground. Honey, I'm 7 non-Fox years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm going to do something about it.
Don't give up. Don't become so rigid and inflexible that you can't modify your path and modify your schedule to get where you're going. Because if you quit that easy, you never really wanted it that bad. All right? So, hopelessness is a state of mind. Don't live your entire life hopeless and unfulfilled. As long as you're moving towards a dream. You say, Dwayne, what if I'm so far away from my dream now that I die before I actually reach it? Die on the road.
So at those times where you're questioning if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, a year from then, you will never remember the discomfort of the pain. You will always remember the pride of the accomplishment. That lives on. That's why pain is temporary. Pride is forever, guys. You give it your all, you get it all. Tenfold.
Whenever I was in college and I was feeling really stressed out and I was overwhelmed at times and I didn't like what the situation was, I would always say, what would I tell my future son? Because if I can't tell him to get through adversity right now, if I can't tell him to keep pushing through, if I don't live that, if I don't live through that, how am I gonna ever give him genuine advice one day to get through it on his own? So you gotta think, man, sometimes you go through things and you don't know the reason at first, but it's not for right now. It's to help someone later, like your son or your daughter. Sometimes you're living through the toughest thing ever and you don't know why it's happening to you. But sometimes, guys, it's bigger than what you can even see right now. Sometimes your son gonna be looking you in the eye and say, Dad, how do I get through this? And then what are you gonna tell him when you quit before? What are you gonna tell him when you took shortcuts? That's the point, man. There's so much stuff that's bigger than you right now that you're going through for a bigger purpose than you can even imagine.
Some of y'all don't want it. That's why you ain't got it. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Because you grew up in a household with dysfunction, drama, mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional abuse. Doesn't mean that that's the outcome of what your life, your career is destined to be. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. There's pretty much nothing that you could say that you went through that I haven't went through, and I'm still here. Some of y'all may connect success to me being famous. There are people that are way more successful than me financially, success-wise, career-wise, and they're not famous at all. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. Get in shape.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that. Motivation is at the all-time high when your bills are paid, when your wife or husband is good, when everything is good, you're motivated. It's that person when all hell breaks loose and everything falls apart that says, I still got to get it in. And how you get to that point in life, what I figured out, it's so noisy right now. This world is so noisy. We all walk around with these phones, computers. The world is so fast. We're not able to think. The most powerful weapon in the world, we walk around with it. It's our mind, it's our brain. You have to be able to go into a very dark place in your mind and figure who you are. Go back to what you want to do, what's your purpose. We can't figure our purpose out or why we're here or why we're even born or whatever, because it's so loud in our mind. We don't have any quiet time with ourselves to sit back and say, what do I really want? There's so many different dialogues in our head that we can't think. So my biggest thing is you have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you.